What's going on, guys? Ness here. Today what I have in front of me is the Ipega 9083. It's another one of those retractable Bluetooth controllers that are compatible with tablets and cell phones and what have you. Only this one is pretty unique because this one is compatible with the Nintendo Switch, essentially making it an alternative to the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. But how well does it actually work? Today we're gonna find out. Honestly, the main reason why I even wanted something like this was because I really missed having a D-pad. Sure, on the Nintendo Switch Pro controller you have a D-pad, but you don't always want to play it in tabletop mode sometimes. Sometimes you want to play it in handheld mode and have a decent D-pad. And the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons just simply will not do. So let's go ahead and open up the box. There is the controller unit itself. Pretty nice. That classic Ipega red and black. You have a set of instructions, how to program it for the tablet, iOS, Android, Switch. A charging cable, micro USB. And you have these two rubber pieces. They slide right down the Joy-Con rail, and that's what helps your Switch slide into place with the Ipega controller. So testing it out on a mobile device, it worked about just as good as any Bluetooth controller would. Pretty much what you'd expect. It ran all my emulators pretty fine, and I didn't have any issues with it. But now for the real test. Let's try it out on the Nintendo Switch, which is the main reason why I bought it. As I stated before, the first thing you gotta do is remove the Joy-Cons and place these rubber pieces in the Joy-Con rails. This is what helps the Switch slide into place. It gives it a little bit of a funky look, but it works. And then over on the side of the controller, there's actually a switch that you just move over to the Nintendo Switch position. And then it should recognize the controller almost immediately. Within seconds of connecting this controller, I figured out one potentially critical error. On the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con or Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you know how the face button setup is pretty much X, A, B, Y? Well, on this controller, it's Y, B, A, X. And there's really no way to remap these buttons. So in order to use this thing, you pretty much got to get used to the buttons being mapped kind of awkwardly, completely different from what the Nintendo Switch normally has it mapped to. While for the types of games that I want to play, such as fighting games where you could remap the controls anyway, or shooting games where all I really care about is the analog sticks and the triggers, this isn't a big deal. But for something like Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, this could be potentially game breaking, making playing the game pretty difficult, if not impossible, unless you opt to get used to this new controller preface. But once connected, it worked flawlessly with every game I threw at it. And it felt great to finally have my D-pad back in handheld mode. So the Ipega 9083. I don't know, guys, I'm a bit on the fence on this one. This thing would be perfect if it wasn't for those awkwardly matte buttons. If they just had the same matte buttons as the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons and Pro Controller, this thing would be ideal and I would probably be using it on a regular basis. But because it's not, I'll probably only be using this thing for fighting games and shooters, as I previously stated. Fantastic idea, but the execution is a bit sloppy. There's plenty of room for improvement. If you guys are interested in the Ipega 9083, I'll put a link in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.